Welcome back, Airbnb family. In order to save you some time, I'm going to review a 45-minute long video that Brian Chesky did for a host Q&A. I'm going to give you all the points really fast. I'm not going to give you my interpretation of the data he gave us because I'm going to leave that to you. But if you want me to interpret some of this for you and give you some things that I took away from it, I'll leave some links in the comments below. So let's jump right in. Okay, so Brian Chesky said a few keywords here that I want you to be aware of in the beginning of this video, and he used things like core host or a local experience or deeply personal hospitality. These are things that he said, and I think we should be on the lookout for his commitment to his core hosts in the future and people who've really localized experiences. So stay tuned. They did claim that they have a 0.004% rate of serious occurrences happening in host homes as a way to basically say that Airbnb is a safe thing. So by serious occurrences, I think they mean things like house fires where the home burns down, burglaries, murders, things like that. They've got a very low occurrence of those. There are other stats out there that talk about what percentage of guests experience bad things, but I'll, like I said, leave that in the comments for you. So the host guarantee has changed. They've extended your claim window to 14 days. You no longer have 72 hours to open up a claim. You have 14 days, but it still is before your next guest checks in. Another great thing about their host guarantee that they changed, and I actually got this from a subscriber that told me to watch this video, is that you no longer need proof of original ownership. So if you buy a TV, you don't need to keep the TV receipt for them to reimburse you for a new TV. It makes it a little bit easier for you to replace things that aren't just readily for purchase like that. Or where maybe you were a new host like me and forgot to keep your receipts. That happened to me, and it sucked. So thank you, Airbnb, for that. Now, they also claim that they have reinvested in this, and there's a 20% faster rate of redemption on their claims. So you should be able to get your money faster, which is nice. They have conceded that their review system is flawed, and they've made commitments to updating and changing their review system, and they gave some examples. They had a moderator come on board that said that a guest in Queens refused to give him a 5-star review because it snowed too much in New York in the winter. And so they had a conversation about location-based reviews and how sometimes people are reviewing the location as inaccurate or not really a good part of town, or they're just like, I don't like New York. And so they give the location a bad review. So they understand the flaws of it, and they're working on finding a different way to maybe weigh these reviews. So that way it doesn't affect your superhost status. They've also done this. They're adding an "Are you sure?" or they're talking about potentially adding like an "Are you sure?" button when somebody's giving you 5-star reviews for stuff and then suddenly they give you a 2-star on something. They're going to add like a little gateway like, did you mean to do that? Because they think that maybe some bad reviews are happening by accident. So that's kind of interesting. Now, they did give us a screenshot of some stats that I think we want to take away from this, and they gave us some resources here. So I'm just going to take this screenshot and post the stats up on the screen right now. 60% of a guest's first action is clicking on a photo, right? So 6 out of every 10 people who view your listing, they'll click on your photo reel. So just know that for behavior. That's how important photos are, and they want you to know. They gave us 2 resources to use. There's blog.airbnb.com/photography to give you tips on how to take great photos. And then in areas where they can service this, airbnb.com/professional_photography. This is not a free service, but they connect you with professional photographers to take photographs of your home. They will deduct the cost of those photographs from future payouts. They are really trying to sell how important professional photos are for increasing your bookings. And I think Airbnb wants to have as many awesome looking listings as possible on their platform. So of course I don't blame them. Next, they suggest that you caption your photos. They want you to sell your space through your photos. Talk about how comfy the bed is, or whether or not this front door goes into some beautiful front yard or something like that. They're really trying to get you to really sell the space through personality on those. Now, they did talk about the fact that Airbnb doesn't collect certain information from guests. They're talking about how we don't get every single guest's name and age and stuff like that just offhand. If you have a guest party of 6, we only get the primary booker's information. They said that they don't require all this extra information because they're trying to streamline the checkout phase of the platform so it's easier to book. Because if it's too hard to book, somebody may just not book. And that does matter for things like adoption. If you're trying to get new people to use Airbnb, it needs to be easy to use. So they do say that you can add this to your house rules. I've had this conversation with Airbnb. You can add it to the house rules that everybody in the party must be an Airbnb user and then be added to the reservation. You can put that in your house rules if you really want to lean on people to disclose other guests' information. But Airbnb is not going to force it because they're focused on adoption. They are working on their price suggestion algorithm and otherwise. So we all know that Airbnb suggests prices that are way too low for us. It just happens that way. So what they've done is they're trying to give us more insight on why they've chosen the prices that they've chosen. So if you go into your calendar, at the bottom, you're going to see this market trends section. And it's going to say the reason why you should raise your price or lower it, it's going to give you kind of like this compound score. And this is also in cities that they have enough data as well. So it might say that most people have already booked. They don't expect many new bookings. They might say that there's too many other hosts on the platform right now. This will give you a lot of fun insight about your local, neighborhood. And I believe they do this within a 5.3 mile radius because one of the data sets that I saw gave me that range for where they're searching for this. But the market trends at the bottom of your calendar, just click on a day and down below, it'll tell you why they say raise your prices or lower your prices. And this information is also available in your mobile version too, I found as well. They've invested in streamlining their help flow. They advertised that over 80% of their calls last year were answered in a minute or less, and they are working on adding a chat feature to their help flow, so that way you can on the platform just kind of chat with somebody. This is another thing that they're really doubling down on is customer service, of course, to keep everybody happy. Because I'm going to show you in another video, there are some key stats that hosts need to know about guest experience, and customer service is a big pain point for Airbnb based on this external data. So I hope this was helpful for you. It saved you maybe 40 minutes. And if you have any questions, you want me to go into greater detail because I did breeze through this call or this Q&A, you just leave it in the comments. I'm around, so I'll answer for you. So thank you for watching Airbnb Automated, and I'll see you on the other side.